What up, grandads and granddads? So listen, the Destiny's Child, the male version, has reunited. The Locks have reunited. The podcast Locks that have broken up and reunited. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, talk about Rory and Maul from the Joe Budden podcast. Let's give a round of applause. Yes. So listen, if you don't know, a bit under a fucking rock, as you know, Rory and Maul left the podcast maybe a month ago, a couple of weeks ago. Suddenly, a lot of fans and listeners were very upset, distraught, because they didn't understand why, and this came out kind of out of left field. Show went on, obviously. That's the Joe Budden's motto. The show must go on. He replaced Rory and Maul quicker than they replaced Aunt Viv on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Yes, it was that quick. So they replaced them with these new hosts. They were boycotting, saying they weren't listening to the pod no more because of Rory and Maul. And then that quickly changed, and now they want the other co-hosts back because they got used to them. So this is all messed up. So after the hiatus, they were back on the show. Surprisingly today, people were very surprised to see them and happy. They were trending on Twitter. They kind of spoke on the situation a little bit.
And some things transpire over the weekend. Some misunderstandings, some assumptions, some ideas, some male ego happened. Some prideful things. Some things were said that were meant. Some things that were said that were not meant. Maul and myself and Joe met last week. It was a lot of grown man feelings. It was a little uncomfortable. It was a little, and I'm not saying the word edit. It was a lot of feelings for three grown ass men in a living room. Maybe necessary, but I think uncomfortable for all of us because we don't express ourselves as men, especially with friendships.
So Maul also decided to speak about the situation and told his side of events, which he says he was completely blindsided by, but tried to mediate. And from what I gathered from it, Joe Budden got a little egotistical as always. We know how Joe is, but let's hear what he said.
I'll call your friend. Like it's certain things you don't say, certain lines you don't cross with friends. And me personally, I was just trying to figure out what the tension was, like what was going on for him to feel like texting Rory, yo, don't come in.
Right.
And I wasn't gonna record without Rory. Like this is, to me, that's corny. That's like if we go somewhere and they say everybody but Savon could come in and we still go in. It's like, nah, we out. We all leaving. So I more so was like, listen, if it's something going on with you and Rory, I think we should all sit down and talk about it. That turns into a whole different conversation. And then things are said. And then at that point, it's like, all right, well, fuck this. And I'm like, I'm out. Because at that point, it was disrespect. And I'm not going to stand in disrespect with my niggas. Like, I don't get down like that. I'd rather just remove myself. So that turned into no communication at all from me. Like I wasn't speaking to nobody. I was talking to Rory like every now and then, like every other couple of days, just checking in. But then it just felt like, it wasn't a sense of urgency to kind of correct things. At least that's how I took it. So I was like, all right, well then, it's going to fold out. It's going to unfold how it's going to unfold.
So what I'm gathering from it is Joe Budden, they had a conversation and Joe Budden probably was like, you bitch ass nigga, I'm the star of this team. Take your ass to the back, Solange or Michelle. I'm Beyonce. That's what it sounded like. And, Maul doesn't seem like he's a confrontational person. So he just exited from the situation completely and said, if this isn't, regardless of the business is business, but we need to have a mutual respect for each other. If we don't have respect, then this podcast will not continue until we get that in line, or if it doesn't get in line. But that's where I stand, and I watch this podcast, and I have so much respect for Maul. He seems like he's the only one in that room that had a backbone and that stood by just true principle. He stood on his morals, his beliefs. He didn't back down. And I like the fact that he was champion for Rory, even when Rory's bitch ass seemed like he didn't want to champion for himself. and I respect that about Maul. He also commented on Ish and Ice replacing him. This is what he said.
Step back and just let things happen in front of you and just watch.
Yeah.
And this is shit that we talked about. You know what I'm saying? And like I told Joe, I felt the way about him having, and this is no disrespect to Ice or Ish, like at all. But I told Joe when we was at the house, I said, yeah, I felt some type of way about you having some other people come on the show. It could have been anybody. I didn't give a fuck who it was. It could have been Starsky and Hutch. I don't give a fuck who it was. Like, it feels away because I know how I move and I wouldn't do that. I would be like, yo, nah, fuck that. We shutting shit down. Let's fix this. Let's get this right. If we can't, then we can move on. But my priority would have been, I'm fixing this with my homies because this isn't right and we got to fix this. And then that, if you can't fix it, then so be it.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
you tried.
Right, you tried. But I felt the way about that because I'm like, well, damn, like my phone worked. I know Rory's phone worked.
Well, that's exactly what he was trying to display, which he did display, was that you guys are replaceable. That was the whole method behind it. Man, listen, I know how Joe thinks, man. I know how he thinks. I know people like him. And I used to be like him back in the day before I, changed my ways. But that's exactly what he was trying to display, that you guys are expendable. This is my show. That's the message he was trying to convey, which he did. But on the flip side of it, they returned, and now fans are saying they want Ice and Ish back. They're saying that the chemistry between Ice, Ish, Parks, and Joe was just uncanny. It was just like you had the Golden State Warriors with Rory and Maul and Parks, the original cast. But then they added in KD and maybe a LeBron James maybe not LeBron, but they added in KD, a different element, and now it brought something out of the dynamic that was them. So you seen that, which was prevalent in the Kevin Samuels interview. The way the one I don't know which one is Ice and which one is Ish. The one gentleman that was him and Kevin were bouncing off of each other, man. You just saw the chemistry in there, and I don't know if Rory and Maul would have been able to do that in that particular conversation, but nonetheless, I'm glad the original team's back. Everybody missed them. I do think as well as the other fans and people that watch the show, that Ice and Ish should probably just start their own podcast. Maybe Joe Budden can do another podcast with them, or come in as a guest appearance, or maybe he got the females that got their podcast, which is trash, by the way. I'm sorry, I tried to watch it a couple times. It's just so horrible. He could put it under his network, and that will build his equity up as well. We'll see what happens though. But hey, man, kudos to the team for getting back together. Hopefully they can get all their issues ironed out, and we won't have to see this again. Or maybe they could bring Ish and Ice on, and they have a whole different dynamic or something. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But let me know what you guys think. Post your comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Until next time, peace, love, and prosperity. I am the Black Abstract, and I am Trill.com if you need merch. Hit me up.